Morning, everyone. Secretary, please call the roll.
Trustee Atkins.
Here.
Trustee Canada.
Here.
Trustee Jenkins.
Present.
Trustee Mailer.
Here.
Trustee Rowe.
Here.
The minutes for the April 11th, 2025 Audit Committee meeting were circulated in advance. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, I move to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, please signify by saying nay. The minutes are approved. There are two action items for the committee to consider. And May is the proposed fiscal year 2026 audit plan. Your meeting materials included the proposed fiscal year 26 audit plan. I recognize Ms. Beth Chancellor, Assistant Director, who will provide further information.
Thank you, Trustee Mailer. Good morning, trustees. The Office of Internal Audit prepares an annual audit plan at the beginning of each fiscal year. The plan is based on staffing and also the time resources available to perform audits and is prepared in conjunction with the annual risk analysis of the university's auditable areas. Internal Audit met with various key employees on campus to gain their insight into what areas should be considered to be included in the plan. Emphasis for this year was auditable areas that have not been specifically audited in recent years. The plan contains the annual audit of the President's Office, which is required by state law, facilitating the university's risk assessment, which is also required by state law, follow-ups, and the allocation of time for consultations, as well as potential investigations. The plan is well balanced across the spectrum of university operation, including 2 audits in information technology, 2 in academic affairs, 2 in student affairs, and 1 in the financial management area. The plan also contains 2 audits that are on deck, which may be performed if time resources allow. During the year, changes in audit priorities may result in alterations to the plan. The Global Internal Audit Standards issued by the Institute of Internal Auditors requires the Audit Committee to approve the audit plan and also any significant changes to the plan. Changes to the audit plan are historically approved by the committee at your spring meeting. I would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve the proposed fiscal year 2026 audit plan? Seconded. There is a second. It is moved and seconded to approve the proposed fiscal year 2026 audit plan as written. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. The motion carries. Item B, policy 1:016, preventing and reporting fraud, waste, and/or abuse. Your meeting materials included a review of policy 1:016, preventing and reporting fraud, waste, and/or abuse. I recognize Ms. Beth Chancellor, Assistant Director of Internal Audit, who will provide further information.
Thank you, Trustee Mailer. University Policy 1016, preventing and reporting fraud, waste, and/or abuse, describes the role of university officers, members of management, students, contractors, and employees in helping to prevent and report fraud, waste, and/or abuse of university resources. University policies are required to be reviewed every 5 years by the University Policy Committee. This policy was recently reviewed with no substantive changes. The review of this policy by the Audit Committee is the last step of the policy review process. I would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve policy 1:016, preventing and reporting fraud, waste, and/or abuse?
Motion.
Is there a second? Second. It is moved and seconded to approve the university policy 1:016, preventing and reporting fraud, waste, and/or abuse as written. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. The motion carries. I do want to say I appreciate the teamwork that you all have and the governance measures you all have put in place. I think it's Yogi Berra that used to say it, predictions are hard, especially about the future. And they I'm having trouble talking this morning. They put significant internal controls in place to try to prevent fraud, waste, and or abuse. So that's a good thing for the university. There are two information items for the committee to consider. The item A, internal audit report released between February 28th, 2025 and May 8th, 2025, and list of outstanding audit recommendations. Ms. Chancellor will provide information about this item.
Thank you, Trustee Mueller. One audit report was released between February 28th and May 8th, 2025. It was a departmental audit of the admissions office. The audit objective was to provide assurance on a variety of the office's business operations. The report contains two opportunities for improvement. The first is related to the admissions process. In order to ensure compliance with the requirements of the Tennessee Department of Health rules, university policy requires applicants to provide proof of certain vaccinations or to receive an exemption approval before enrolling. The student system was designed to prevent students from being admitted and the immunization before the immunization requirement was fulfilled. The audit discovered 68 full-time on-ground students were admitted in the fall 2024 semester without the required vaccination documents. This appears to be an issue with the student information system, and the vendor is currently reviewing to determine what happened and what corrective action may be needed to address the issue. The second is that corporate card charges were not approved timely. University Credit Card Manual sets monthly deadlines for corporate card transactions to be reviewed and approved by the cardholder and their supervisor. Timely approval of corporate card transactions helps detect unauthorized transactions quickly and ensure the transaction is properly recorded in the financial system and complies with university requirements. Of the 42 transactions that were tested in the audit, 13 or 31% were not approved by the cardholder timely. In addition, 22 transactions or 50% of those tested were not approved by the supervisor timely. As a result, management assigned card approval duties to ensure workloads facilitated timely approvals. Management also ensured cardholders and approvers enabled email alerts in the credit card system to alert and remind them when transactions need to be approved. With all recommendations included in audit reports, management must identify what actions will be taken, who is responsible for those actions, and also provide an expected date of completion. After the expected date of completion has passed, the Office of Internal Audit will perform a follow-up review to determine what action was taken and also if that action adequately addressed the issue in the report. Internal Audit generally does not issue reports for follow-up reviews. However, we do maintain a list of outstanding audit recommendations, and the list is in your committee material. I would be happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
Question.
Go ahead.
To do with the first thing, with immunizations. Let's say a student comes in and says, look, it's against, I don't want to be immunized. How does the university handle that? And what immunizations are required? Meningococcal or flu? What is it? I don't even know.
Blaine actually did this report. Mind if I ask Amy for them?
Yeah, we can do it later. I don't have to.
Amy's here, so she's the one who knows.
So in the report, it was MMR. Okay, sorry.
Okay, MMR.
It was MMR, hepatitis, meningitis. Those were, and chickenpox. Those are the ones required by the state. In the report, the 68 students, some of those you just have to answer questions. I refuse to do that. And so in the report, the 68 students, the computer system didn't populate the requirement or the question. So that's the situation that we're having to work through manually. If a student comes to us and they ask for a religious exemption or something like that, our health services works directly with them. And they have a list of exemptions that the state has approved that can be gone through. So on that.
Good enough. Thank you.
The issue at hand in the audit was a third-party system wasn't populating fields properly. So
Yes.
the audit caught that, and the vendor is in the process of fixing their system.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any further questions for Ms. Chancellor or discussion about the internal audit report? This is an information item and requires no further action. Item B, external Title VI compliance review performed by the Tennessee Human Rights Commission. Ms. Chancellor will provide information about this item.
The Tennessee Human Rights Commission performed a Title VI compliance review of the university. In their letter dated March 11, 2025, the commission reported Austin Peay State University successfully met the requirements of the compliance review. The commission's letter further stated, "We commend Sheila Bryant and Dr. Lenisa Williams and their dedicated team for their exceptional record-keeping practices and their thorough preparedness throughout this process. The meticulous organization and attention to detail demonstrated by the team are a testament to your commitment to ensuring compliance with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Hearing none, thank you, Ms. Chancellor. This is an information item and requires no further action. This concludes the agenda, and I move that the public portion of the audit committee meeting adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
It is moved and seconded that the meeting adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the meeting is adjourned at 9:39.